Scarface and New Jack City are two of the most iconic gangster movies of all time, but I don't think people realize just how much these two movies mirror each other. And with those similarities in the way that Nino Brown's story was told, you could almost say that New Jack City is basically a spiritual successor to Scarface. Now for starters, Nino Brown is seen watching Scarface multiple times throughout this movie. In fact, he actually watched it so much that it almost seemed like he was studying film for a sports game. Nino didn't just love the movie, he idolized it. He wanted to be the real life Tony Montana, but he didn't want to make Tony's mistakes, and he damn sure didn't want Tony's fate. In fact, they actually explicitly stated this in the first scene when Nino was watching Scarface.
The world is yours, Nino. Only you won't be as careless as Tony Montana. Now will you?
You're absolutely right.
Attempted to learn from every single one of Tony's mistakes. He never touched his own supply. Tony was also very uneducated and reckless when it came to his money, which is another mistake that Nino tried to correct. Like this scene in Scarface when Tony was trying to come up with a money laundering scheme to get out of the hot seat for tax evasion. Tony then comes up with Montana Management Company as a front to launder his money. Nino saw this, so he decided to do the opposite. He stayed quiet, stayed smart, and bought the Carter Apartments as his money front. On the outside to the feds, it just looks like a regular apartment complex, but on the inside, it was a multi-million-dollar drug facility. It looked like Nino had everything under control. He studied his idol Tony Montana and corrected all of his mistakes, but even though he tried to do everything better, his fate still ended up being the exact same. He got drunk with power and started mistreating and abusing his woman.
Cancel that bitch.
Even going as far as imitating Tony Montana during an argument with her.
She can't have no kiss, man. She can't funk either, huh? Maybe that's why she can't have no kiss, huh? That ain't what right, you man. Think?
I can't even have a kid with her, man. Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
And when Tony killed his best friend Manny, the pain of what he did hit him after it was over. But when Nino killed his best friend G Money, the pain of what he was doing hit him while he pulled the trigger. Because it was in that moment that Nino realized that his life was going down the exact same path as his idol. At the end of Scarface, Tony's mansion got raided and he was gunned down. At the end of New Jack City, the Carter Apartments got raided, his apartment got raided, and he almost got away, but he was ultimately gunned down. And it's so funny because if you pay attention to New Jack City, every time they played Scarface, it was always on this scene, which was basically just foreshadowing of what was going to happen to Nino. New Jack City isn't just a movie inspired by Scarface. It's Tony Montana's story reborn through Nino Brown. And it makes it so interesting and meta because to us, Scarface is just a fictional movie. But the thing is, to Nino Brown, Scarface is also just a fictional movie, except in our reality, we just watched it for entertainment. In his, he watched it and copied it. But at the end of the day, that fate can't be escaped.